Hey guys, welcome back to the Market Junkie YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over some of the trades that we made in the past, and we're going to be going over a few more setups and some interesting news in the market. And we're going to go ahead and get started by talking about Facebook. And
But
Kevin's going
before
to
we
take it
do
away.
that, we want to remind you that anything that we say on this YouTube channel is not financial advice and to do your own due diligence. Please do your own research. Please, please, please.
Yep, always enter trades at your own discretion.
We're just expressing our opinions. Okay, so Facebook. Wow. Guess who left?
Wow,
Two of the
Facebook.
founders. So I tweeted out early this morning. Awesome. We get a nice dip buying opportunity. 160 has been holding quite well. The risk reward is good. Okay, so the stock gap's down, yada yada yada. It's down here near 161. If you look at it on the daily, you can see that 160 around this range, it's been holding quite well all the way throughout. So I thought the risk reward is quite good, and the options were looking, depressed obviously in the morning because the stock gapped down. And I want to say yesterday and a couple days before, they were going out and buying the October 167s, and they were just, spraying the board with the options, and they were, doing $500,000 orders and whatnot. So I thought that was also a bullish call. So I definitely thought, the risk reward down here was good, and I did pick some up. So I'm going to be holding into, the Fed meeting coming up tomorrow and throughout. Too bad
Yeah,
it
we've
didn't.
seen
Yeah, go ahead.
we've seen a lot of weakness, or not necessarily weakness, but just not headlines in FANG stocks. And Google went up today. Netflix had a solid day. They all started red, other than Apple. But we went over Apple before, and Apple's been holding the I believe it was a the 215 price range, and
Right.
we're back in this range. So we're about to break out of this range, and I believe Apple's going to also continue higher as
Yeah, it
this
closed
range looks
nicely.
like accumulation, right? So Netflix, Apple, FANG stocks, they're all picking up, and they're all in the eyes of investors again.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Apple for a break over 223 and then quick acceleration to 227. Let's see if we get there.
Right.
But Netflix is the one. Huh? You want to talk a little about Netflix and the position that you
Yeah.
entered? Let me switch it
Do
over
you
to your
want to put
screen.
it? Do you want to share my screen
Yeah.
real
You
quick?
ready?
Just uh, 1 second.
But yeah, Netflix, I'm looking at this 372 level. If it can get over there early, it can run. And boy, when Netflix decides to run, it can run like 3-4% in a day easily. So I'm hoping something like that happens. I know you got on the calls quite early, right?
Yeah, I got it in the Netflix
375s for
three,
the
yeah,
weekly, right?
three. Yeah, I got in the 375s for the weekly, and then I got a few
October.
weeks out. I got, what was it, 377.5. So I'm playing this a little safe. I could target further out, like 400 and 420, but I've been trying to be more conservative in my options plays, and when I usually
You
try
full
to go
screen it?
for larger swing trades. Yeah, when I usually go for larger swing trades, it generally it's a little bit harder for me to manage my options position. So I'm targeting this just short term trading range, and I'm trading it range by range. So as you see here, I did go over in one of our previous videos. If you just want to check out our YouTube channel, and just look for Netflix in the thumbnail, and just watch that video where I did go over the technical setup and why I would be accumulating it. And we went over that on September 18th, and or I'm sorry, September 13th. And
Yeah, we lose
ever
track of
since
time.
then, we've been accumulating shares of Netflix. And on the dip today, I saw a perfect buying opportunity at the market open, and I got those, and I'm about 60% on my 375s, and I'm about 30% on my 377.5s.
Yeah, so let's see how they do tomorrow. Hopefully it can break out. Right now the NASDAQ is up a pretty penny.
Yeah, and similar pattern on MOMO. We also have an
Momo!
yeah,
All right, go ahead.
exactly, inverted head and shoulders. And I told you guys that it'd be accumulation anywhere above this, and this particularly this gap right there. And we did bounce very, very nicely. So I bought the dip today too. My calls are at 50%. And as you said, this one can rip 5% in a day, and it's been
Yeah.
accumulating heavily. So,
We took a nice sell
I've
on it
just,
up there too.
yeah,
We had a
my options
48 for 9.
expire in the first week of October. So, by then I'm going to want it to come up to 40, 50 is my target. 49 to 50 is my target. And it's been making higher highs and higher lows. And
Yep.
we're in kind of this like channel. So I'm expecting for it to, do something like this.
For that 50 level, I
Um,
think I need to see something with China and Trump, something along those lines that gets better. But I think, 48 is definitely possible. And we'll see how it, does at that level.
Indeed.
You want to pull up the Amazon chart? Man, this thing's a beast. This thing was at, okay, I'll look at it on my screen too. Amazon,
Oh, we
man.
called this. No, look at my screen, bro. We called this to the dot.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna show you over here real quick. Okay, so earlier it dipped all the way down to this 1869. Amazon's one of these stocks, like in this bull market, such a strong bull market, obviously, and everything has been a buy the dip opportunity. But Amazon's one of those stocks that if you can get a nice down move early
Yeah, share my
and
put it on my
load
screen.
up calls on this thing, it works really well. So I mean, this is something you want to watch. I mean, obviously, I'm not giving investment advice or anything, but just keep this on your radar for those early dips, and see how it goes from there. You can just back test it if you want to, and check it out. But definitely keep an eye on this. Where do you think it's going
Yeah.
next? But like honestly, I think
Show
if
my
it
screen.
makes an early move tomorrow, I think a rip over 2,000 can happen in the next couple days.
Yeah, are you on my screen?
I'm about to be.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
about to be.
So I predicted this that Amazon would make another lower low, and it made another lower low, and did break out. It did go to the bottom, near the bottom of our channel at the 1860 support area, and it held very, very nicely. Easy trade, buy trade there. I wasn't looking at Amazon at the time. I should have been, but it did break out as well. So and buy on the dips. If it does continue, if it does by any chance dip down to 1954, use that opportunity to maybe scale in and buy on the retest of the breakout of the range. That's a typical strategy that a lot of people like to do. Buy on the breakout retest, and that's just, this is not financial advice, but this is simply a strategy that can be implemented in this trade setup.
Yeah, so let's move on to the next I want to talk about. This one's sweet. Boeing. Put up on my screen. So Boeing is quite interesting. This one trades around all the tariff news and whatnot. They recently got a deal with the government for a $2.4 billion contract, which is quite good. The funny thing about Boeing is damn stock went down and Lockheed Martin was up. But Boeing, somebody came in earlier today and bought the 375 calls, and they bought quite a lot of them. So if I go over here, you check out 375s, there's like 4,200 options on the 375s. Don't know what's cooking, but this stock, I'm watching for a break over 370. It's failed there multiple times, but if it does rip there, I expect a move quickly to that 375 level. Like Boeing's also one of these stocks that when it gets going, it can move $10 in a day. So we'll see what happens earlier next week. I'll have my stop loss around this 365 level, but that's what I have right now. I have the 375 calls. Got them a little early, around $1, trading around 60 or 70 cents. But I tweeted out like, okay, China doesn't do anything. This one can really rip. I took a small lotto position, so we'll see what happens with that. But definitely keep this one on your radar. It's had all this bad China news for the past 2 weeks, right? But it's been, really strong. The stock's really strong. And I do think Boeing will reach that $400 level within the near future.
Yeah, it does look good. Really bullish chart.
Yeah, that goes. And also I want to talk about this RCL. All right, guys, you guys gotta watch the videos. Like honestly, like we've been calling these, right? So when RCL was 133 2 days ago, right? We call like, okay, CCL has earnings Thursday, all this hurricane stuff. Who knows what's gonna happen? This chart is extended, I guess, and I am targeting, like $2 or $3 below this if CCL has bad earnings. So I'm gonna want to stay on the sidelines for a little bit until those earnings come out. But this stock should move, $2 to $3 up or down, given that, and then that will set the trend. And somebody did come in and buy some CCL puts for the week. It's not like a huge position. It was like a 56K order. It could just be an outright bet or it could be a hedge. So you don't want to look too much into it, but it's quite interesting.
Or
CCL
it could
has
be
gone
insider
down
trading.
for the
You
past
never
two
really.
earning reports. So that's something interesting to note. You want to talk about Bitcoin?
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
let me see. Let me do some forex updates real quick
Okay.
for me squad. Um, Sadly, I don't have it on this layout, but basically, we're looking at GBP Aussie dollar to rise up and then fall, and it did just that. Basically, we were targeting for it to come down into something like this and play the range like this. This is kind of choppy. I mean, it's not really choppy, but it did do a stop hunt there, and it did a stop hunt there, and reverse at those 2 points very clearly. But the trend is still, clearly in the downtrend, and I am expecting another wave count lower into this price point down here at 1.785. So I did scale in longs earlier today, and we'll be continuing to hold that position. I would like to see a break of this current price at 1.81, and I did take some profits here. In the short term, until we do break this level, I will be, entering positions accordingly as we retrace a little bit, maybe enter some positions, and then if we have like some head and shoulders pattern or something, and then come in there and retest this area and then fall. So this is what I'm anticipating GBP AUD to do. um Euro USD is going to be an important one as we have FOMC tomorrow. As you see here, Euro USD has just been on a tear. I mean, in the sense that it has this really large accumulation range here, and we're still above that range. So until we fall down from here, actually, so we did have, if you look at the daily, you have like a swing high here. So basically, 3 days. One day you had a high right here, right, and the next day you had a higher high, and the third day you had a lower high. So it's like a little fractal pattern being created, and you generally that means there's going to be some sort of retracement in the market. So um, if that does happen tomorrow with FOMC, then you're going to want to see a break of this price 17.35, and then as soon as that breaks and as soon as you know what's happening in this region, then you're going to know if it's going to go back up or if it's going to continue and go all the way down and take this liquidity out here, and then maybe even go for some lower order block and liquidity here at 1450. So that's what I'm waiting for on Euro USD. It could it's make or break at 17.3, so that's what I'm looking at.
Wait. All right. So on
But Bitcoin.
yeah, I'm about to talk about Bitcoin a little bit. So I did go short at that 6,600 level and targeted at 6.4. So I tweeted this out a couple days ago. I saw that this move would occur. Bitcoin, like, it's been in a range, right? So between 6,000 to 7,000, I feel like it's a good trading range until it breaks one way or the other. So I know, like, how everyone's like, oh, I do inverse of CNBC. Okay, so now they said, Bitcoin's tumbling, more pain to come. So you know what to do, guys. Cover those short positions and go long. So I'm waiting a little, see if it dips a little bit more, and then try to buy down here and then target 6.6K again. Kind of like a rinse and repeat. Like, while the market's doing nothing, consolidating, might as well trade it, right? Make a little
Yeah,
bit of money
I
on the side.
yeah, I would definitely look in this range and
All
at
right,
this price point
yeah,
to
I'm on your screen.
scale in longs. Okay, let me pull up the Bitcoin.
Oh, you're looking at Ripple, huh?
Oh yeah, let me just talk about Ripple. Okay,
25. What
Ripple's
was it?
been
23 billion market cap or something? It went
yeah,
up.
it actually passed ETH for a certain moment, but basically on Ripple. So after we had like the first like breakout and then like another wave higher, and we had like the extrapolated crazy move higher. You know how crypto usually looks like this when everyone's all like, hell yeah, Ripple to the moon. And then like right there, they're like, they buy 58 cents. And then they're like, oh yeah, it hit 75 cents. I'm in the money, you know? And then they're
Ripple
like,
going to $100, gonna be the reserve currency of the world.
rip it to $1 by 4 p.m. And then they're like, oh nope, nope. And then they're like, oh nope, get crushed again, get your hopes up, you know, oh we're waiting. Oh, we're gonna take it higher, higher. Oh nope. And then trading range, and then boom, 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 knock it down, you know. And then here, where it did have a previous breakout from at 45 cents, we did do a very nice little accumulation range here and a very clean breakout, as you see here. And currently, as you can see, we are retesting this. 1 second. We are retesting, and right here, and that's a good area based off of the breakout retest strategy to enter a long position. And if you are patient, you can just put limit orders there until that area breaks, and that's generally
Oh,
how the strategy
crypto
works.
people and patient. I mean, the
And we're
new
gonna be
gen crypto
targeting.
people. Okay,
You know,
new
I
smart
want
money.
I want more highs on Ripple. You know,
I mean, I'm a
am I
crypto
gonna
guy,
be
but
that guy that's gonna just I want new highs on Ripple, and I want $1 by 4 p.m.
nah, man, crypto, you have to be patient. You know, those days of those insane gains may be over. So you know, it might take 5-10 years to
Don't
get
say that.
crazy good gains. Yeah,
I mean,
head
we've
over to
only
that
been in this
Bitcoin chart after.
for. Oh yes, sir. Well, BTC has been is a very beautiful chart.
Yeah, it's great for trading right now. What I really
It's
like
just
about it.
really great for trading, actually. Um, if it does break down at the 6,300 level, look to go short, balls deep, and target the 6,100 level. That's how I'm going to be trading it. If it, as it is holding this level currently, look for it to go all the way back up and make a run to 7,000. That could make sense. Sorry for all these unnecessary arrows, but basically, there's a
Oh
lot
wait,
of
I thought more
liquidity up
arrows make
here.
you good. You know those
There's
people
a
with
lot
those
of
crazy charts.
there's a lot of liquidity up there, so basically it would make sense if Bitcoin's just it's retesting this breakout right here, as you see. Let me put this line right there, and that's a pretty. I want this really to hold, and it'd be really nice if it held and Bitcoin went up to make another higher high, and even like make them run up to first 7,000, and then um, see how it does there, and then it'll probably come down from there. But 7,000 is my first target. I'm on Bitcoin at this price, and if it breaks, I told you what's going to happen. It's going to go to 6,100. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Do you have any comments, sir?
No, that's about it.
Any fundamental news on Bitcoin?
Yeah, just like they have meetings with they have roundtable meetings, government folks, you know, all that stuff, ETFs, blah blah blah. Same old, same old. Nothing that can
Yeah.
really move the prices for now. So we're just waiting. It's a waiting game.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so with that, we would like to conclude this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. As a reminder, this is not financial advice, and you should always do your due diligence. So with that being
Thank you
said,
very much.
have a great day, trade well, and the Fed meeting is tomorrow. Jerome Powell, the spotlight is on you.